How many of you remember, how many of you are from New York, by the way? See, there's two types of people, those that want to be from New York and those that want to be Italian. So tonight, we're going to share a great message. And I'm excited. First, I want to give Ron a huge round of applause for putting this together. Thank you, Ron. And, you know, what's exciting is we're blessed. My wife is my wife, Christy. I was pointing to Mark. No, I identify. Hey, look, let me be very direct. There's two genders. And what you're going to realize why I'm banned on YouTube for life. I had 5,400 videos, 2.5 million subscribers, a multiple seven-figure business. They banned us. We have 20 contributors. We have one of the most visited websites on the internet today for conservative news outlets. Google demonetized us. They shut us down because they're cowards. If any of you that are live streaming, I know we're live streaming right now. I love it. Zuckerberg, your day is coming up. You're from kids of hell, Zuckerberg. And so it's got to us on Twitter. So, because look, as you hear my accent, I'm from New York originally. My dad is listening to that. My dad is 92. I interviewed my dad last night on my show. And my dad around the place. He's 92. And, you know, we went over common sense. Like, there's two genders. You stand up and go, number one, you're a guy. The other one is a woman. That's called woman, because that's men and women create other people. And there's only one type of gender. So transgender is a freak show. Now, remember, you wonder why I'm banned in most places, right? Because what we're going to discuss tonight is why we as Italians and Americans are so proud of this country. And in 1913, my family came from Italy. This is their legal documentation from Italy. In 1913, my grandparents, 9 of them came from Italy with $17 in their pocket each for 2 weeks on a boat. Okay? So let me express something to all of you. All the AOCs, all the Bidens that wears his friggin' mask the size of a car cover because he's a freak show, and Harris and Schumer, they ain't gonna win because God's gonna move. 1913, they came 9 of them with $17 each in their pockets. They came to Ellis Island because of a land of opportunity. See, I've written 20 books, and my most recent published book is called Making Capitalism Great Again. Because people came to America for what? The land of an opportunity. How many Italian contractors do you have? Everybody that came to America worked. They worked to earn income. That's called America. And that's what they're trying to steal from us, is why we founded this country. This country was founded. And my grandfather, and this is a picture of my grandfather that I had it up in my office. My grandmother, my nana and papa, and my nana never let go of me. She always grabbed my arm. $17 in their pocket in 1913. My grandfather would spit in Zuckerberg's head and go, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You look like Jen Psaki with a ring anyway." Zuckerberg. How many think Jen Psaki is like a transgender Zuckerberg? Right? Now look, people go, "John, man, that's pretty strong speaking." My wife and I are booked every single weekend between now and the end of the year speaking around the country. Where's the Bombini? So where's the I met you guys in Alabama, right? The Professor Toto's event. That was an awesome event, right? I met him just 2 weeks ago in Guntersville, Alabama. To me, it's like, we're dropping up there going, if they don't like it, they can kill you in this place. It felt like it was in New York. But I tell you, there's more of us than them. My nana and papa love this country. My grandfather would shake your hand and go like this. "Nice girl you got. Be nice to her. Stay nice to I'm watching you. Be nice to women. Men respect women. Step out of the way. Say, thank you, young lady. Get back to the American values this country was founded on. It's not a game anymore. You know, this is very powerful, is that this country, what happens is, I talk about socialism as a snake. It slithers in. Communism is the bite. See, how does it happen? You know, I interviewed my dad last night. We talked about common sense. You know, imagine in 1930, someone would say, "You know what? I don't want to have my baby. Let's just murder it." Imagine abortion in the 30s and 40s. Imagine 2 guys saying, "Hey, let's just get married." Or, "Hey, I'm a guy. I want to identify today as a woman and compete against other women in sports." How does that happen? It happens because a little bit of compliance. You see, just a mask is the beginning of communism. Just a mask. And I say this, and I get real passionate when I speak and present, because I believe that there's awakening in this country, that people start to awaken, because there's more of us than them. And that's why I actually have a gift for all you guys tonight. This is one of my quotes. I've written 20 books, I have many quotes and quote cards. And this quote says, if your dream is not so big that it changes who you are, then it's not big enough. Just imagine being in Italy, saying, you know what, we want to go to the land of opportunity. We want to go to our home. We want to go to America, the land that will give us an opportunity, one nation under, in God we trust. See, when you trust God, they came to America for the opportunity. And opportunity means the commitment to dream. They came to America with the opportunity to dream. And this socialism, it's beyond socialism, it's communism. So I want to give you guys a gift tonight. You guys, when we conclude, and we got the rhythm chicks who are going to rhythm it out tonight. They're awesome. And you guys will see back there, we have a capitalism table. Every product we have, and obviously stars back there is awesome. We want to make sure that those are empty tonight. Yeah. Because you want to patronize conservative businesses. Yeah. There's more of us than them. These cards are all printed by a local printer in West Palm Beach, Florida. He thanked us because he goes, you guys were part of the reason why we made it through the China virus.
Oh, see?
Real quick, too. It's the China virus. Since I'm from the area, I can say China. So all the rhinos, China. It's a China virus. And if anybody in this room here took the vaccine, it's a choice. But my dad is 92 years young. My mom is 90. They have not taken a biochemical warfare from China. My dad is 92 and healthy. I'll be interviewing Karen Kingston this Thursday on my podcast show, who's the Pfizer whistleblower. Karen came out saying Pfizer, as you know, this is a destructive biochemical warfare, but I don't want to go down that path too much. But you got to ask yourself a question. How big is your dream? How big is your dream? Those of you who have children and grandchildren, what are you willing to do? What stand are you willing to take? And you see, when I speak about this, there's a quote in my book on page 2. It says, America's free enterprise system affords economic freedom that makes it possible for us to achieve our individual goals and dreams. There are people in this room, you have children and grandchildren, that are going to be the next wave of multi-billionaires with the right Judeo-Christian values, respect the family, respect pro-life, and respect the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. Now this young man right there, the young man right there, what's your name? George, you and I got the same size arms, by the way. George, stand up for a second, please. George is awesome. But just stand up real quick. Look at George. Now, George is the same size as George. Right? You know, that's my wife, Christy, right there. There's the boss right there, my wife, Christy. And people go, well, Lemme, you just jumped on the Trump train to sell a bunch of books. I'm like, all right. Well, for those of you that read the Bible, there's the book of Proverbs. In the book of Proverbs, God mentioned the word fools many times. Well, in the Italian translation, there's a New King James, there's a New King James translation, there's the Amplified translation, well, there's the Italian translation. In the Italian translation, God converts it from fools to idiots with a Z. So I say, you idiots. My wife and I will be married 17 years this April. And this is like Chrissy always says, it's not a wedding cake, the groom's cake I got you as a surprise. And on the cake is a flag. Because our corporate logo for 21 years is an eagle with a flag. I've always loved the country because my grandfather, my grandparents said, you respect the flag, you stand up for the flag, you respect your family, you respect business, you serve people, you do the right thing in this country. That's the Italian mindset. It is so important. And don't cower down. Make a statement. When you go somewhere, they better know you're conservative, not Republican. Well, the vaccine is a choice. We got to go 24. God's got to move before in 21 and 22. Because this country, because you guys are in Florida, you have no idea when you travel around the country. We landed in Colorado Springs. I spoke at an event 2 weeks ago for 3,000 people. Some of you know Clay Clark. It was one of Clay Clark's events. I was one of the speakers. We landed in Colorado Springs, 11:30 at night. There was no Huddle House open, no Shoney's, no Denny's, no IHOP. I had to take my wife for 17 years to Circle K and got noodles. You married one of the greatest guys ever, Chris, right? Literally, we went to Circle K and had to get noodles. There's nothing open in Colorado Springs, Colorado, because they built all this with the China virus. They went all the way. They shut down the supply chain. We published an article today on All Journal from one of my great writers. There's well over multi-billion dollars of supplies in LA off the cargo port. Because this is all a strategy. Because that's why we as Americans, there's a revival, there's an awakening. There's people who are, you met me up in Alabama, you're from Port St. Lucie, you're here tonight. You also, we're doing a big event in Naples to kick off in Naples, Florida in January 2020. And you guys are going to be coming down to that event. And I'm saying this to all of you, as Italians for Trump, the Italian heritage is about family, faith, and freedom. Say with me, faith, family, and freedom. And it's so important because there's also another gift I have. My grandfather always says you have to leave people better than they were when you're with you, right? So I always have free gifts for everyone. I have a free report I wrote titled, What It Means to Be a True Conservative Patriot, Willing to Take a Stand by Faith and Fight Back. Everyone say fight back. Fight back. You look like George and I, you fight back in a second. Right? Fight back against the radicals for the future of America. You got to fight back with your actions, your words, your associations.
That's right, JB.
I always tell people, I'm very strong in this because this is just crazy. Because I've been in sports my whole life. I'm 56 years of age. I work out every day. Obviously, it hasn't worked. I mean, I'm in physical good shape. But as an Italian, like my grandfather said, if you ever get big legs or quads, you're going to be on steroids and we'll cut your ears off. When Van Gogh cut one ear off, we'll cut two ears. I never had a drinking or drug problem in my life because they were very disciplined. You know, time out. I would have took a time out versus the time beating. Right? It's called discipline. Don't you think we need discipline in America? So when we look at this, it says, and people always say, John, the conservative business journal, what's it about? It's real news for the American people. Everyone say, put America first. Because there's one thing that I am so for. I am so for legal immigration. Build the wall. Everyone say with me. Build the wall. My grandparents came from Italy for 2 weeks with $17 and had to sign an app. When I speak at live events, I show them the PowerPoints. They had to sign off to be better here in America. So when you got this tsunami of illegal aliens coming across the border because of communist China control, I have zero compassion. And when you hire people, say, excuse me, show me your legal documentation. Mark and Carol Smith, the contractor. Mark's my camera guy tonight. Mark, you do good the camera. Mark Smith owns a very successful construction company here in South Florida. All your workers are legal, right, Mark? Is your wife legal?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Legal.
She's Italian.
John, that's not nice. You're supposed to be a Christian. Read the Old Testament. Read the Old Testament. How did it work out for Goliath? Right? David killed Goliath. It's time we start killing. Not physically, but with our actions. And the number one thing we have to stand for in America, everyone say it with me, 3 words, United States Constitution. United States Constitution. That's why this country was built upon legal immigration. They came from America, they came to America for the Constitution, what was inside the Constitution. And then something else I discussed in this, and I want to say with me, the right to bear arms. The right to bear arms. Very seriously. Second Amendment. There are more guns in America right now, and I believe we're going to have a 1776 revolution shortly.
Yep. You
can only go so long until you push people to that point. You can only go so long. People are getting to enough is enough. Enough is enough. When you got Democrats going at each other in the restrooms, right? Following them into a restroom. Then you have an illegal alien on a United States airplane threatening a Democratic congresswoman that I don't agree with 90% of her principles, but she was telling her what to do to give her legal citizenship. Are you out of your mind? How does it happen? Because we as Americans have to rise up and stand stronger. Good, you go right ahead. Your ladies are awesome. Give them a round of applause. They're awesome. That's it. That's fine. So when you guys look at that, you say to yourself, again, the right to bear arms, Second Amendment. What do you think went on with Cuba and Venezuela? In Cuba, under Batista, the country was awesome. Castro, that's right. Concealed weapon. That's right. Candace right there is packing. Candace, you packing right now? That's awesome. Yeah, my wife's got a little pocketbook back there. My wife's in a Navy SEAL shop, right? She's from Tennessee. She can take you out from a mile away. And it's so important, guys. You have to start to speak these things and say, I'm proud. Hey, maybe you don't carry, but say, I'm proud to know in the country we have the right to bear arms. I'm proud to know that legal immigrants can come from Italy with $17 in their pocket and build a family. And we didn't learn Italian language due to the fact that my family loved Italy so much. They said, respect the country you come to and learn English. That's the depth of it. That's the depth of the love for the country. Let me tell you something. I'm not backing down. I'm 56 years young. We've been banned everywhere. We're the most censored, banned conservative voices out there. Yet we're booked to speak everywhere. We just got booked, you guys know, Real Talk Radio. We're going to have a weekend show now on Real Talk Radio, 3 1-hour slots. And our podcast show, where we had 5,400 videos. 5,400 videos. And YouTube banned us. Because there's 4 things we talked about. Shh. Real quick over there. Shh. Thank you. 4 things we talk about. Illegal aliens, you can't talk about that. You can't talk about communism. You can't talk about election fraud and election integrity. The 2020 election was stolen. It was stolen.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm good friends with Lynn Wood. I actually called Lynn this afternoon. I'm good friends with Lynn, good friends with Jen Flynn. I've been up to Mike Lindell's office. I'm a high-value target. Unless you fix 2020, they're going to steal 2022.
Absolutely.
And I said this about Governor Newsom. Governor Newsom is a demon. He's not going to get vengeance. They stole it from Larry Elder. Now, critical race theory is a high school requirement in California. Gets out of California unless God's going to move, has to move there quickly. And then something else I want to discuss tonight. And Christy, how long am I going? I don't have my clock. Keep going, thanks, Ron. So, number 9, this is very, very important, because you guys want to support capitalism and free enterprise. As you do business with people, ask them. Get to know them. Do business with conservatives. We rolled out stuff called conservativemarketplace.com. Conservativemarketplace.com. We have 26 conservative business owners. And they're all independent entrepreneurs that are God's people. Support capitalism. Capitalism is where people can earn income. And I do a whole message about capitalism, but let me just share with you what capitalism is, because it gets a bad rap. Capitalism is, God gives you in your mind a vision, gives you a vision. And then in your heart, God gives you the faith to step out and do it. So there's vision and there's faith in the heart. That's capital. Capital is an asset. It increases. And I talk about it in my book, and I don't have time to read it here, but I talk about how the number 1 secret to America's success is innovation and invention. Look at all the Italian immigrants that came in legally. Look at the innovation and invention they did. They innovated, they invented, and they created what America is today. Legal immigration is one of the most valuable ingredients. How awesome is the food here tonight, correct? Food is awesome. And the chefs in the back take ingredients and create something of greatness. And I believe each and every one of you here tonight are born champions from God. And just to throw all the idiot trolls that always troll me, I wrote a book 15 years ago called Champions Are Born, Losers Are Made. Because I started to see this pro-life thing. And when abortion started to explode, I'm like, my grandfather would kill me. If you get a girl pregnant, you're part of it, moron. You're part of it. It's a sperm and an egg. You can't murder a kid because you made a mistake. Live up to it, parent the kid, and I got aggravated. I wrote a book called Champions Are Born, Losers Are Made. And I talk about the sperm and the egg. Pro-life is very serious. For those of you who are Christians, you mess with God's kids, he don't play games. They're butchering the babies right now in America through the communist administration. And Biden is just, those of you cheered when I said Lynn Wood, so I won't get booed out here with this. But if you look at Joe Biden, there's 3 Bidens, by the way. That's why there's a fake White House now.
Yeah, that's right.
You do, right? You guys go withdraw. That's crazy. Great. I understand. That's great. Just go on DuckDuckGo and put Biden's earlobe in. Some of you have hanging earlobes, and then earlobes in like that. Just go DuckDuckGo, because Google, which is a demon, go on DuckDuckGo. You can't even find 99% of my conservative products or my messages on Google. Right, Christy? Telegram. Yeah, you guys gonna follow me on Telegram? That's right. And you're awesome, Ken. You Palm Beach Patriots, you share everything. You're awesome. Candace is excellent. And that's so when you guys look at this, because you're in Florida, support capitalism and support what this country was founded upon. This country was founded upon the ability for us as American conservative capitalism supporters to go out and change America. And just stand for certain things. And then the final point here tonight, I want to share at some point, and this is when I came to America, is we the people. I would say we the people. We the people control America. Say with me, we the people control America. Look at the person to your left and say, we the people. We the people control America. And when you speak to politicians, say, excuse me, are you focused on fixing 2020? I know you're talking about election integrity, but did you certify the election? Call the judges out in the local marketplace. It takes one judge who's not afraid of being threatened. Even in here tonight, Ron doesn't even know this. There's somebody in here tonight as personal security for my wife and I. Ron doesn't even know. I wish it was George, but it's not. But there's literally somebody in here, we bought a ticket that's in here tonight, could be male or female, watching my wife and I. We're high value targets. We've been threatened many times. I've been doing self-defense for 43 years of my life. I never carried. I never had one of those concealed carry cards until about 8 months ago. Because 6 feet away, all this stuff doesn't make a difference. But it's so important to realize why are they so scared of us? Because we the people control America. Say with me, we the people control America.
Control America.
With limited government interference. With limited government interference. So as we celebrate tonight Columbus Day, how about the morons saying Columbus is a racist and indigenous day, correct? How stupid is that? And I tell people, it's not even up for debate. One final story and I will conclude. 60 seconds. We all know in the Bible, how many of you read the Bible? Well, there's a story in the Old Testament with David and Goliath. And David was a conservative. And he was just doing his business. He was making his handbags. He was like a star. He was out there in his field. He's like all products. They're out there printing stuff and publishing and speaking and offering products and service. Doing what they're doing. Ooh. And then Goliath was just there in the valley scaring people not to come out to purchase anything or do anything in life. They were just afraid. And little David said, I already killed the lion. I already killed the bear. This Goliath, I know he's 800 pounds. He has 125 pounds of armor. But David said 3 words. We the people are 3 words, but there's 3 other words happening in America right now. It's called enough is enough. David said, a very short shepherd boy, I think he was Italian, 5'7", 170 pounds. The Goliath was 800 pounds, had 125 pounds of body armor. He had a young man carrying his sword. David said, because Goliath was like this for 40 days, just taunting and taunting. He was like AOC and Biden and Schumer and Nadler and Newsom. And one thing Biden did say was correct. He did call Mayor Lightfoot a man. He did call him Mr. Lightfoot. You know that, right? He did make that blooper, right? I can say that here, but I get thrown out, right? He did say that. He said Mr. Lightfoot. So Mayor Lightfoot, these people, and Cuomo's out. Because he's like Goliath. And then David took one slingshot because God said, you know what? That's my boy. I can trust him. Took the slingshot, took the rock, and hit him. But he took it, say, one step further. He dropped him. The sword fell on the ground. David picked up the sword and said, Goliath, you're really aggravating me. Like, you're really dumb. He took the sword and he cut Goliath's head off with his own sword. And took the head back and brought it back to the camp of the communists and the rhinos and said, look, this is what we're going to do. See, America's at this point right now. We travel the entire country. Everywhere we check in, hotels, rent cars, places we go. We get upgraded dinners, upgraded free meals, upgraded hotels. Everybody tells us, right, Kristen? Thank you for doing what you do and keep the fight going. Now, one point, the Italians got the baseball bat. How many of you from New York? I met the young lady from Yonkers, right? When we were 16, my grandfather put this in the back seat going, for the bad people. Keep it there, in the back seat. Look, this is the baseball bat my grandfather, I never had to use it. My grandfather gave me this baseball bat when I was 16 years old. The integrity my grandfather had, 4th grade education. My grandmother, no education. But the honor, integrity, and love for this country is incredible. Let me tell you something right now. As I stand in front of you tonight, you change it about me. I'll be back here again tonight. I know there's Tommy from Tuesday Therapy Group. Tommy, raise your hand back here. Tommy G. If you guys need therapy, make sure you become part of the Trumpsters Tuesday Therapy Group. Tomorrow night, you guys, we'll be here tomorrow night. Right here. Baseball about to be out again. Yeah, it's Tommy. Raise your hand again back here. Tommy's awesome.
Come back tomorrow night, right here for another Trump event.
Give it to Stein and Lisa. So, real quick, guys, thank you for your time. Remember, Columbus discovered America for its greatness. And if they mess with you, just stand for certain things. And once again, we got some great gifts for you. I got the report I wrote. I got that report card for you back there. And plus, we have all of the all my books and some of my quotes.
John, where's your table, John?
Right back there. This is
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for John Lemme. Let me bring your rhythm tricks up in a few moments. Ron Stewart wanted to be here this evening. He couldn't make it, so he sent this message right here to you.